I've lived in towns as small as about 12,000 and a coal mining town in southern Illinois. I graduated from high school in Chicago. I was born in southern Jersey. I've lived there, in northern Jersey outside New York City, western Massachusetts in the hills and the Berkshires. I've gone to school in college in Pennsylvania, Indiana, graduated from Reed in Portland. So I have a broad history of moving around. My mother used to say, well, we didn't pay the rent and we had to move, which is silly, but my father was an electrical engineer. He always wanted to come to California. And somehow or another, he did it. And the day after I graduated from high school in Chicago, we were in the car, 100-degree heat, the windows rolled down, and we trekked westward to Palo Alto. And man, my father was in absolute heaven. So that's how we ended up in California. We came to San Pedro because after I married Greg, he wanted to get a PhD in geography, so we went up to Seattle, and he attended the University of Washington. When he graduated, he became the first geographers at Dominguez Hills. And so he was hired there. We came down, we took an apartment in Long Beach, and we said, well, we'll look around at the various communities. One of Greg's colleagues in chemistry, his name was Jack Foote, lived off Gaffey on 27th Street, and we got to know the Footes. We came down and started shopping churches and that sort of thing. And we would drop by and see them on Sunday, and they said, well, you know, you really ought to look at San Pedro. It's really this and that and the other thing. So one Sunday we did. And we left the Footes on 27th and Gaffey, and we went over Gaffey down the hill and ended up on Carolina Street, and we saw 2 for sale signs, 2 houses side by side, the one on the corner, which was an old style Craftsman. The one next to it was a setback, kind of just a wood frame house. We found out later it was the old Tanner house. And we looked at them both, and we said, well, let's go into the one that looked like more New Englandy rather than the Craftsman. And we went in there. We said, well, to the realtor, what else do you have to show us? And she said, nothing like this. And we said, how much? And we bought it. And we never even looked at another house. So that's how we ended up in San Pedro. We didn't know. We really didn't know anything about the history of the town, which we, of course, later became very familiar with. But we had the sea, we had the cliffs, we had hiking, we had nature, and we loved the place. And it was just, we said, this is it.